One of the things I wanted to do was to talk about my grandmother. She was an amazing woman to me. Many don't know, but I was raised by my grandmother ever since I was 3 weeks old. Back then, my mother, after I was born, had a deep postpartum depression. And my father, who was recently back from Vietnam, was suffering with PTSD. So my grandmother stepped in and brought me in at 3 weeks old. And when she brought me in, she never, ever gave me back. But I just wanted to talk about the characteristics that she displayed and something that she heavily influenced me with. She only had a third grade education, and she worked in the sugarcane fields in South Louisiana growing up. She ended up being a cook in our middle school cafeteria and strongly encouraged me to get an education. She was one that really valued education and knew that at the time that would be my ticket out of the hood. And so I decided to go ahead and go to college, and I went to Southern University in our hometown to at first major in accounting, but realized shortly after that that I'm not the accountant type, and majored in marketing. So things were going along pretty well. And then the train derailed because I got a little bit too much into this. I don't know if you guys can relate, but yeah, when I look at bottles of Boone's Farm, Strawberry Hill, and MD 2020, my stomach is literally turning upside down right now. But as a result of too much of this, I was the only one in my peer group to actually get suspended and kicked out of college. And that was a really hurting experience. And the reason I got kicked out, I don't know if you know what this number is, but it was my GPA that last semester that I was kicked out of school. So, the partying was all good and all, but when I had to come home to tell my grandmother that I was kicked out of school, I just knew that she was going to be mad and disappointed. I'm kind of tearing up just thinking about it right now. But that woman was the biggest supporter that I could have ever asked for. And she just encouraged. She just said, Nanette, you fell down. Now it's time to get back up. And so I did. I did get back up and ended up finishing school. Now, I didn't, because of how low my GPA was, I didn't finish magna cum laude or summa cum laude. I finished, thank you, Lottie. So I got my degree and realized from that point that it's not where you start, but where you finish. So as Mark mentioned, I went on to have a career in corporate America, where I worked for several Fortune 500 companies in pharmaceuticals and the energy industry. Well, in 2010, my pharmaceutical company laid off my entire specialty division, which was about 1,400 people. So at that point, it was a pivoting point where, I had to decide, do I want to continue and go and get another good job, a great income, company car, nice trips, and all the works? Or do I follow that I failed to mention when I was a kid? All I ever wanted to do was to have my own business. In the hood, I was a little hustler. Now, I never sold drugs, but I did sell candy and a few other things, but I always wanted to have my own business. So in 2010, I decided to turn the lemons of losing my pharmaceutical job into lemonade. And so with that, I thought back to the lessons that my grandmother taught, because even though she didn't have a formal education, what I say is she had PhD level resilience and authenticity. And resilience can be defined as the capacity to quickly recover from difficulties and tough situations. And that's something that she had an abundance of because of the life that she lived. There were so many challenges and so much resilience that was needed. And so seeing the resilience that she had, encouraged me to do the same. But the other thing that she also had was authenticity. And I think in this day and age, authenticity is with social media and everything, it could be something that can be taken for granted, but it's the quality of being genuine or real. genuine or real. And I really think that that's been one of the things that's been a key to our success here at Lemonade is we're very authentic. You know, we come from a place of authenticity. And so when, as I mentioned, I was laid off and we turned the lemons into lemonade. So this is a picture of our the first little agency. It was a little 300 square foot office. And we, we're excited to get, a 24 t-shirt order and that kind of thing, but have grown over the years, to be able to establish some larger clients and taking that theme of resilience and authenticity with us in everything we do. Because, in this industry, we've had a hell of a last 2 years. And if you don't have resilience or you haven't had resilience, it's something that, would not allow you to continue in this business with all of the supply chain issues that we've had. I mean, we take the time now to work with clients to do an order where the sourcing side of it might have been, 15% of the time before, but it's sometimes 50 to 60% of the time. The path to success that we've encountered over the years isn't one that's linear. A lot of times we think of it as linear, but we all go through stuff. It's like as soon as you're up, something else comes unexpectedly to bring you down. And I just want to encourage you that, if you fall down 7, get up 8. And then we're excited to be moving into our new location. We're in the new location. We're building it out. And the thing that I'm excited about is we're building a lemonade stand in the inside of the building. And that's where we're going to actually have our meetings. And we'll serve freshly squeezed lemonade. And after 5, it'll have a little bit of Tito's vodka. But, let's focus on the freshly squeezed. But what I want to leave you with is the mantra that I live not only in my business, but in my life, that we're all going to be dealt lemons. So when life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. So again, I appreciate Bobby and Mark, you allowing me the opportunity to share my skucon story. And look forward to everyone enjoying the rest of the skucon conference. And so thank you guys.
Nanette, thank you so much. That was so wonderful. And I don't know what you're talking about in terms of following that, our keynote speaker with Aaron Draplin. I mean, he had the coin purses, but he didn't have the lemonade. So
no, I love him. But thank you so much. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.